Bugge, good morning.
Hello.
Good to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
From Norway.
Yeah.
But traveling all around the world. So a world citizen, world musician. I'm looking behind you. There's your main instrument, the piano. And next to the piano, we see a laptop. And they have become important to you as a combination, right?
That's true. Well, basically, I grew up, my father is a jazz guitarist. I grew up with jazz music. And like my 16 age, I got really interested in electronic music. Mm-hmm. I bought a computer, and so this has been my thing, I think, which I really love, this mixture of the beautiful sound of an acoustic piano, which is my favorite instrument, of course, since I play it, and those artificial sounds from a laptop. So for many, many years now, since the 80s, I've been trying to fuse those two elements.
Since the 80s already?
Yeah, I bought my first computer in '84, Atari, and then I've always been working with this. I think this mixture is fascinating. The sound, the acoustic sound versus this kind of programmed, static laptop sound. For me, It's always staying with me.
Yeah. How do you then usually start? Are you playing something and you...
It will start with the piano, because that's what I took from jazz, the improvisational aspect. So I have nothing prepared on the laptop, really. So I start with the piano normally, and I have a microphone inside the piano, goes through my laptop, and then I can kind of record what I play and play it back and put some effects. And out of that, I try to build a rhythm or something, and I just basically try to make spontaneous music as good as possible.
Do you follow the evolution, let's say, of jazz music, specifically when it comes to all this young people merging electronics into what they're doing?
Yes, I try to. I mean, I still see this electronic jazz, or whatever you can call it, as the newest jazz. I think it's really, for me, still fascinating. And there's been, since I started, really took off in the mid-90s. And I started to play a lot in Europe, North Sea Festival from '99 and on. And I really got together with this fantastic scene in France, with Eric Truffaz and the whole European young scene, the new jazz movement. Mm-hmm. And that is now 20 years ago. So, but anyway, it's still evolving, and still these young artists, I think at the moment, particularly from outside areas of Europe, like East is fantastic.
Really,
so much interesting stuff happening at the moment. Also Asian music. Mm-hmm. It's incredible, and the whole thing's become a global aspect to it, which I love very much. Mm. Mm.
And we were talking about improvisation earlier. How important is that for you?
The improvisation, that's everything. That's why I can call what I do jazz music, because I try to make music for the moment, and it's very important to me. I think this kind of jazz, or let's say call it jazz, I dare to call it that. Some people disagree, I still dare to call it jazz. Yeah. For me, it's a unique art form, because it's one of the very, very few art forms in the world where the audience are exposed to something being created in front of them. Yeah. I mean, if you go to a movie or read a book, it's already done, right? But if you go to a jazz concert, you see the art is being made in front of your eyes. And that is a very challenging, but also very fascinating thing. Mm. And that is something I think we should stick to, when it comes to jazz. That's what we can do.
You have the electronics on one side, but there's also that live element that you find very important to create something in that moment, to give maybe the audience also a certain feeling.
Definitely. In general, I love playing concerts. I mean, when I do rehearsals or try to make an album, it's a different thing. It's interesting, but it's my type of music, and jazz in general comes alive live. Mm-hmm. When it's with the audience, because the audience are extremely important, and you try to create an energy with the audience, and that is, to me, very, very something very beautiful, actually. Yeah.
Is that something in a way that you took after your father? Did you go to his concerts when you were a child, for example?
Yeah, I did a lot, of course. And then I always loved this jazz, but I mean, there was this very smoky basement, dark place. I was there a lot in the daytime when I was a child. And I can still remember this smell of how a jazz club smells in the daytime. and it's a very good smell.
In your memory.
Yeah, I have it in my memory. It's this, and every time I come to this type of jazz club, it's jazz club.
Yeah. That's a typical.
But now it's changed, of course. Now jazz is not so much in smoky basements. It's not even allowed to smoke. But but still, the energy I try to keep, from that thing.
Yeah, and would you say that the music you make has a distinct sound that we might even call your sound?
I hope so. That's my ultimate goal, to be able to create music that someone can recognize. This is Bugge Wesseltoft. I feel I have glimpses where I have reached it, but I feel I'm still on the way. I have to say, one very, very fantastic thing about being able to travel around the world with making music and playing music is all those impulses and people you meet. And that's so fantastic. So I can get inspired, especially, as I mentioned, Mideast is a fantastic area. Egypt, it's so much cool stuff happening. I've been to Pakistan sometimes, been to Asia, Africa. And all these influences is very important. I grow, but still I have to sort out all these inspirations into, hopefully, what will become Bugge Wesseltoft's music.
All right. Well, we're gonna listen to you. You're gonna play something for us. Maybe the Bugge Wesseltoft sound is best if we just hear it.
Okay, yeah.
On your let's say on your ultimate combination, piano and electronics.
I'll try my best. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bugge Wesseltoft.
Thanks.